I wish women spoke more about patience. The good things take time. So from your hair to your skin to your relationships, everything gets better with time, just like fine wine. When I have conversations with friends, like one-to-ones with family, we all know that everyone is struggling in one form
Mm,
or the other. And I just wish that maybe we heard it a bit more and just having patience to say, actually, it will get better. Be patient with yourself. And you might have had a goal. You might not achieve the goal in 1 year. It might take you five, but when you get there, it'll be worth it.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of This Queen Said, a very special episode, I think, of This Queen Says, because my wonderful guest reached out to me. She heard some of the fantastic interviews that we had done before and was like, yeah, I want to be part of this. So I'm so excited. I'm also really excited because this chat has been postponed so many times. I was sick, had voice issues, too much talking, and then technical issues. My microphone wasn't working, and she was patient, and she's just so sweet and so lovely. And I love her already, even though we've never actually met, apart from now, really. So I will ask you, my wonderful, brave guest, to introduce yourself by way of the first question, which is, we have met at a QCOG reunion. Tell us about yourself in 30 seconds.
Hello, I am Yoma Okwa. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for letting me be on your podcast. I graduated from Queen's College in 2006. I was in Obasa House. And on graduation, I moved straight to the UK. I'm currently in the in-between in the sense that I'm transitioning. I've been in energy for the last 13 years and I'm moving now into education. Quite a scary in-between at the moment. I love water sports. So I love running, rowing, swimming. And I currently live in Lincoln, a cathedral city in the UK. Queen's College holds a special place in my heart because of my lifelong friends and my faith, actually. So I got confirmed in QC. So
Oh,
yes.
I love that. So first of all, 2006, I'm trying not to do the math of how old I am because I left a whole 10 years before. I was class of 1996. And that's all we're going to say about that. You're a V girl. I don't think I've had a V girl on. I'm W. I know.
Ooh, I
Exactly.
feel like we're everywhere. I always meet you girls. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm W. Yeah, I'm not V. And obviously, I will say W is best, but we won't go into that. Yes, it's true. And I'm Dan Fodio, and I am yet to have another Dan Fodio girl on the
Oh,
podcast. Where
okay.
are I've had a couple of Obasa actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Obasa Schoolhouse, Blue House, Obasa Girls, blah, 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 blah. We know how much you love each other. But
It was the best house.
here we go. So left, went straight to the UK. And have you always been in Lincoln?
For a good chunk of it, yes. I moved around the country for a few years. So I went to university in Bath, then I started a graduate program where I did 6 months in Lincoln, I did 6 months in Manchester, 6 months in Newcastle, and then I returned to Lincoln and I stayed. And at university, I also did a year out where I lived in Norwich for a year. So I've done more than a couple of cities in the UK, but I'll say Lincoln is very much home for me now.
That's interesting. I went to Bristol. I went to the University
Very
of
nice.
Bristol, so I know Bath very well. Bath is lovely. It's gorgeous. Absolutely
Bristol was
gorgeous.
to go partying. So you study in Bath and then you go for a good night out in Bristol.
That is true. That is true. Let's go. Bristol was really good. And then we'd go to Cardiff. Obviously, we studied very hard. And yes,
Yeah.
we just had to go and party in other cities, do our deeds outside of the city so where nobody knew us. So you've lived in quite a few places and you've lived in London or not really?
I have. I lived in London 2 years ago. So I worked there for 2 years and then moved back to Lincoln.
Did you like it, London, or was it a lot?
It was a lot for me. So Lincoln is a small, sleepy town. So by 6 p.m., all the shops are closed. It's really quiet. It's peaceful. So I think London was just a lot. You're out at 11 p.m. and people are like buying food and
Yes.
shopping.
Yes.
And it was really weird, but I guess a good weird for some people.
6
Yeah.
p.m. Wow.
Yes, it's one of those cities. When you go out, you always meet someone you know down the high street or a
Oh, that
mutual
is nice,
friend.
actually.
Yes, very community-like. Whereas I found London really big, busy. Everyone's in a hurry. I didn't like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Do places open on a Sunday in Lincoln?
Yes, they do. They
Okay.
do. But they open at 10, so I think that's
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
We are normal. We go shopping like other people. We walk around on Sundays.
I sound like such a snob, don't I? Ugh. So, moving from energy to education, what, how, why?
So I started off in energy because at university I did a year out with an oil and gas company. I worked offshore. So at the end of my placement, I was offered a full-time role. So it seemed like the logical next step. And I just joined and did a graduate scheme and stayed. Now, 3 years, more than 3 years ago, I think it was back in 2017, I started this book club, which grew into a children's book company. So I did a secondment in Lagos with the company for a year. So during that time, it was just a case where we were reading, people were looking for books for their children. So I started bringing in books for their children and it grew year on year. So it's fully become a library. And the last year, I just decided I want to focus on it full time. So build out the library, design library for schools, for primary
I
schools,
love
secondary
that.
schools. That is what I'm doing at the moment. But yes, it's very different from I studied engineering at university, so it's very different. I'm now working with small people and their parents. It's quite a change, but I love it. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And what you said about children being small people, they are small people. You know, the fact that you're going to just move into that field and build libraries and things like that just fills me with so much just joy. QC girls just doing brilliant stuff. I love it.
There are definitely so many QC girls doing amazing things. I've met a couple that own schools in Lagos.
Yes, of course.
There's so many in oil and gas as well, so in the energy sector in Lagos. So I would say all the QC girls I've met are pretty much doing something wonderful in the world.
I think QC is pretty shit hot. That's why people are still quite jealous of us.
Ah, yeah.
I want QC girls to do you QC girls, QC girls. Yes, yes. All right. So start off with the first question. We've established that QC is very important to you, holds a very special place in your heart. So we take you back to, was it 2000? God, when you started QC. Can you imagine? My life. Going back to 2000 when you started QC, what would you tell your JS1 self?
Okay. Oh, this is going way back. But I will tell my JS1 self to probably just be kind and have fun. I started at 9 years old. And I was in boarding school the entire time. So I guess it's totally new. You're leaving home for the first time. It's a new environment. You're navigating new relationships while trying to learn and manage time. So there's a lot going on. But in the midst of it all, I would say just have fun and be kind. So have fun because most of my core memories were still built in QC in secondary school. Most of my friends now are from QC. And I guess the second part of being kind, I think during this transition, I have had so many mentors and coaches, friends in general. It's back to QC. I know I keep going back there, but
We're talking, this is a shit for QC girls talking about,
they're always so helpful. I meet much older people that went to Queen's College. I have friends who their moms went to Queen's College. So I think being kind is important because the memories you form, it stays with you. I was in the gym in December when I was in Lagos and I saw this lady and she was actually the tidiness captain when I was in QC. And the first thought that came to my mind was, I remember not feeling very well and I told her I'm not feeling very well and she still made me clean. So obviously now I'm like, geez, that was harsh. Yes, boarding house was particularly tough. You had to do your chores, but in everything, just remember to be kind because you will meet the person later on. We will all grow up and go off into the world and do wonderful things. So it's nice to have good memories. And so when you meet the person again, it's not awkward.
So true. So true. Be kind to yourself, because I can't imagine 9 years old, boarding school, away from home, thrust into this vibrant community and group, and the rules, invisible, visible rules. Were you tough on yourself?
I don't think I was tough on myself, but then again, I don't think I knew any better. I was quite open-minded. I just rocked up and hoped for the best, really. Actually, I was a bit lucky because my sister was also in QC. So when I was in JS1, my sister was an SS2.
Okay.
She acted as a bit of a covering, and she was also a prefect the year after. So I think I was covered in that aspect in terms of junior-senior relationship. I went with a completely open mind. I was far away from home. So at the time, we lived in Warri and we always flew to Lagos for half term and holidays. So I think there was not fear, but I definitely was conscious I was really far from home.
Yeah.
So if I was ever ill or I needed something, I would have to travel an hour or so to get back home. So I played it a bit safe. But apart from that, I think I definitely had a good time.
And you also said that you were confirmed in QC. So how, this is the first I'm hearing of it. Not to say that it didn't happen or QC was a den of...
Yes. So we had a Protestant church. I feel like his name was Mr. Demoshu. That's the name that kind of comes to mind. But they would bring in the Bishop of Lagos on a particular Sunday. You would all dress in white and you would get confirmed. And after that, your parents could bring in food. That was also a highlight. Well, if you were born there, you understand exactly what I'm saying.
You wanted food.
Of course. Yeah. So it was a big deal. You had all your friends come out and celebrate with you. So yeah, there was a vibrant church community. And we also had a mosque in school. So that's good. It was nice. I definitely feel like that was a good balance to have everyone involved. And yeah, definitely a great day. I remember it very well.
Can you imagine? I remember when there were days of celebration, even if it was someone's birthday and the parents would bring food. And it was just exciting, bringing food in coolers. I don't know if they still do that, bringing jollof rice in coolers and meat in coolers.
That was always the highlight of my week. Visiting day, any kind of celebration, I'm there.
The food in coolers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so with your sister already being part of QC, had you heard much about it before you joined? Were you excited to join?
I think it was definitely an adventure I looked forward to. So for us, it was packing your suitcase, going to the airport, getting on a flight, then driving to school. It was definitely an adventure you looked forward to. I was always really homesick the day I landed or the day before I landed. But once I actually arrived in school, it would go away and I was perfectly fine. So I think a part of me really looked forward to it, and another part of me just wanted to stay at home.
No, that's fair. Looking back, when I think about going to QC, I always remember, because we was coming through Sabo through the market and seeing the gates, and sometimes I would be filled with real excitement, and other times I'd be like, oh God, dread, depending on what was going on. But that drive up to the gates and seeing the gates was,
This was
it. Oh gosh. I've never actually thought about the gates and entering until this moment. The little things that we hold on to, remember.
Yeah. So the gate, and once you cross the gate, the statue.
The statue, yes, on the left,
Once
right?
you see that, you know you've arrived.
I was a day student, so I remember if we were ever late, having to kneel by that statue.
All right.
So, jumping forward, but quite a lot actually, to Yoma at 25, what would you say to yourself?
At 25, I'll say to myself to trust myself. I will trust myself more than I did. Basically, because I think as African women, we grow up very fast. Culture sets expectations at home and abroad. So there's always that pressure to perform. You're always looking for the next job. You're starting a family or you're traveling the world. You always have to be reporting something.
Very true.
I feel like that. I guess even now you have the pressure to also report it on social media. I would say trust yourself, press pause once in a while and just check in with yourself. Is this the direction I actually want to go in? And I guess adjust or course correct as you go along. But I would say trust yourself, because you are the only one who really knows how to take care of yourself. And everyone's path is different. So people will always recommend what they think you should do, what you should be doing. But I think
25, gone to university. I know you said you had done a master's or a graduate program. Had you done it by that point?
I would have just finished. Like, I graduated at 21. So I would have just finished the graduate program. I did four placements in 4 locations. So each time, say, for example, I started off in Lincoln, I did 6 months, then I would drive to Manchester and start up a new life there, and then I'll drive to Newcastle and do the same. So I think there was also that element of trusting myself, because, again, it's one of those ones where I was by myself.
Yeah.
I had to find a new home, a new community, and I guess meet new people, because it was also a different office, a different part of the business that I was looking into. So again, it's trusting myself. I'll tell you a funny story, actually. So I used to live in Norwich, but my placement was in Great Yarmouth. So I would get the train to Great Yarmouth, and then I would walk to the office from the train station. And one morning I arrived, it was snowy. I wasn't dressed very well, because at 19, you wear a really short skirt and boots, and you're really fly.
Yeah.
And that morning, I could never forget, my boots slipped. So my socks were getting wet, and I was getting really cold. And the train from Norwich to Yarmouth, there was only one every hour. So if you miss the 8 o'clock, you will get to work at 10, because the next train will be 9. So anyway, I just jumped on the train. I was like, we've got to get there. We've got to get to the office. So I continued my journey, and I just remember getting to the other side. So I got to the train station in Yarmouth, and I just started crying. I was like, I am so cold. What is going on? You know, when you're just helpless. And I remember this guy just driving up, and he was like, oh, I can give you a lift to the office. And I kid you not, I did not know this man from anywhere. I literally just got the car. I was like, yes. And even when I told my mom the story, my mom was like speechless. She was like, you got in a man's car? I was like, I was so desperate. I had to trust myself that this man will take me to the right destination. Holy Spirit move. Anyway, I got to the office, and everything worked out fine in the end. I bought a change of clothes, and I was totally fine. But I think it's just back to those ones. You really have to trust yourself. You have to say, okay, I'm going to make this decision.
Yeah.
And just hope it works out, which is pretty much what I was doing.
If you had told me at the time, I was like, what? Are you serious? Gosh.
Yeah, my mom was like, what? I was like, yeah, that's what I did this morning. And at the time, I don't think we had mobile phones. So it was literally, you kind of just hope to get to the other side.
And your boots split. That's just wrong.
That was painful. I remember walking in the snow, but I was kind of committed. But I think it's also one of those ones where you started a new job and you really want to prove yourself. You don't want to turn up late and tardy. So I was like, okay, just keep going. You'll get there and it'll all work out.
God, if you were my younger sister, we would have had one. So you moved around. You were working. I can't believe what it must have been like to just keep on moving like that. And like you say, meet new people, new offices, starting a new life. When did you have fun?
Yeah, so I'm an intense socialite. It's weird because I feel like now I'm an introvert, but in my previous life, I was an extrovert. So I've always done a lot of competitive swimming, and I started rowing at university. So at each point or every new city, I would first find a rowing club and I would find a church. That was like my home base. Rowing was intense in the sense that we would train every morning.
This is a lot of commitment, irrespective of the weather.
Literally, it was like 6 a.m. You'll be on the water. But so they were literally my family. After work, I would go for a run with them, or we would do circuits. And then on Sundays, I would go to church, and I had Connect Group during the week. So I would say those two kind of clubs kept me grounded all through. And with rowing as well, they had a really strong social life as well. So after every competition, we'll go out to the pub. Every Friday, we'll go to the pub. It was quite intense. I think that helps me as well. So I was incredibly fit, but at the same time, I think I was also very social compared to now. I feel like now I'm probably a bit more reserved.
I think you are definitely the most sporty, fittest person I've had on the podcast thus far. Are you still really sporty?
So, no is the short answer. I still bro casually. So often Saturday morning, I'll just go out and paddle. I still do a bit of swimming. I've started lake swimming. There's a lake around my house. So you go swim in the lake and then we have burgers afterwards. That's really where
That's when you can have them.
yeah, it's quite nice actually. So, but no, I'd say definitely not as sporty as before. I miss the community, but I guess life has taken over. I've grown up. I've been forced to grow up against my wish.
Life gets in the way. And have you always been swimming, like from a young age?
Yes, been swimming since I was 3.
Oh,
Yeah, so we all swim in my family. So maybe that's why I enjoy
yeah.
it so much. It's like the sport you do and you don't sweat. I highly recommend. If you want to look cute, just go swimming. No one will ever see you sweating. You don't have to wear lycra. No gym clothes. You're all right. You can come out, put lip gloss on, and you'll still be.
Oh gosh, yeah, but so trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself. And were there any situations that you look back at and you thought, if only I had listened to my instincts?
Yeah, I definitely think I could have transitioned. Like I could have started this education thing a few years ago. So I actually started it in 2017. The actual book club, book business one started in 2017. If I had kept up with it, I would have been so much further now. So I think I did trust myself because at the time I was in Lagos and obviously I had a job here in England. So there was that thing of you have a good job, you should stay on the corporate path and you're young and you can do so much more. And yeah, it's back to that thing of wanting to keep the nice life and not hustle too hard. So I think I definitely should have trusted myself. It's calling, and because since all this time, it's always been on my mind. I mean, the irony is I've never gone to bed and I didn't think of a library. So I was just constantly thinking, okay, library design, how do I get books to children? It was so intense. Last year, I was like, okay, it ends now.
Yeah.
I'm going to focus. I'm going to put my energy towards this and just see where it takes me. So I definitely could have trusted myself in terms of my career move because it was very much, I got a job, it was a good job, and I stayed at it. I think I should have really taken time to pause and say, actually, is this the direction I want to be headed in? And course correct.
Easier said than done, though. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I certainly can. So normally my question would be, jump to 35, what would you say to yourself? But because my math isn't mathing, I have absolutely no idea how old you are.
I'm there. Don't you worry. I'm there.
If I say jump to 35, is she looking back? Is that where she currently is? Is it ahead of her?
And I love 35. I'm there.
Right. All right.
I'm right there.
Okay. So what are you saying to yourself now?
I'm saying to myself, just love yourself.
Oh.
I think I really came into my own at 35. I don't know if it's a function of life, but you almost feel like the rubber meets the road and you get a bit serious. So you have to plan, you have to be intentional, you have to manage your finances, your fitness, your friendships, your family, your faith. So there's all these things going on. And I think what I've always come back to is really love yourself. I had to take time to really sit with myself and just be like, are you authentic? Is this the life you chose or did you stumble on it? And just really asking hard questions. And I think the thread through it all really is to just love yourself. And I guess it ties into the previous question. When you trust yourself, you have to almost trust that you're doing what's best for you and love yourself enough to choose the right thing. So it's intertwined. But yeah, so I think that would be my advice, just to really love yourself.
And I think that also does take some courage. Loving yourself and being authentic can mean making some hard decisions that others around you may be unfamiliar with or uncomfortable with. Sometimes saying yes to things that you wouldn't have said yes to before, or no to things that you wouldn't have So when you say love yourself and be authentic, what do you mean?
I think it's really just choosing what's best for you. There's always that still small voice that knows what's right for
Yeah.
you. And I understand what you mean when you say the people around you, they almost can't recognize you. It's like, oh, what's going on? Why did you choose that? And it's okay to carry them along in the journey. For me, loving myself was saying, actually, this is who I am. I'm not trying to be like anyone else. I'm not trying to imitate people. This is the path I've chosen for myself. It's almost like creating your own path. For a long time, I've had a schedule. It's like, okay, you start at this level at work, you start an associate, then you move to the next level, you get a promotion, you move cities, you have to do this. I feel like it was very structured, but actually, there is no structure, there is no plan. You need to choose and chart your own path. Maybe it's just me, but it took me a long time to make peace with that.
I love what you said about there's no structure. I really do.
Yes, you're almost like ticking boxes, but at the same time, it's like you only get one life, you get just one path. So make good use of it. Making sure it's the one you chose, I think, is most important.
Yes.
It's what you're choosing. It's not something that someone else has scripted for you.
Oh my gosh. And I think that's going to be the title of this podcast. The life you choose. Honestly, the life you choose. And being reminded of the fact that it is our choice.
It is.
It is our choice. Life is too precious. So choose the life you want.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you just want to know that you chose. You were a participant. You weren't watching from the sidelines. For me, particularly, after a while, it was almost like I was acting in the movie. It's like they're giving me a script and I'm just following the moves and I'm doing all the right things. On the outside, you definitely look successful and you look happy, but you know you could do so much more. You could be so much better.
When you said I'm following the scripts, was there a point when you said, I don't want to feel like a participant anymore? I just know there are so many people who think the exact same thing. How do I know I'm doing the right thing?
I think you do. I think that's the irony of life. The truth is no one honestly knows. We're all just doing what we know best. You're just making decision based on the information you have today. And you have to trust yourself that you're making the right decision and just keep going. Even our parents, they're just doing the best they can with the best information that they have at that time. So it's as per time. Today, this is what I know. This is what my life looks like. And this is the decision I made, right? So I think there are no rules.
There are no rules. No one knows. There is no structure.
Exactly.
Just do it. Just do it.
Don't overthink it. Just believe that you're doing the right thing. You love yourself enough to make the decision. Just confidently, just go ahead. Just press on. You can always change your mind if you get new information. That's another thing I remind myself. Once you get new information, you are allowed to change your mind. So don't ever feel like I've made this decision and I have to stay on this path. So,
yeah, very true. The new information and changing your mind was something I learned, and I'm ashamed to admit it, I can't believe I'm saying this, from Donald Trump's first time as president. He changed his mind all the time, unapologetically. I didn't say that. And I was just like, it's true, actually. All right, so we've established 35 there. 40? No, all right. So what would you say to yourself as a 65-year-old?
Oh, I thought long and hard. I would say it's okay to start again. It ties in nicely with the last comment. With new information, change is good. Sometimes we're head first, okay, this is the path I'm on. But actually, the world is changing so fast. So fast. I was saying to my brother last night, even the way people job search now, for example, content creation. 3 years ago, it was cringy. Get ready with me. Here are my earrings, and here are my shoes, and I'm going to put this stuff on. But people are making thousands of pounds from that. This is the world we're living in. Yes, my 65-year-old self, I would just say it's okay to start again. Whenever you change your mind, whenever ready, go for it.
Yes.
You can change at any time with new information.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm enjoying this so much because I think it just shows that it doesn't really matter people's age. Experience, wisdom, it all translates and we can all just learn so much from each other. And it leads very nicely to my next question, which is what are the things you wish women spoke about more?
I wish women spoke more about patience.
Patience.
Yeah, the good things take time. So from your hair to your skin to your relationships, everything gets better with time, just like fine wine. When I have conversations with friends, like one-to-ones with family, we all know that everyone is struggling in one form or the other. And I just wish that maybe we shared it a bit more and just having patience to say, actually, it will get better. Sometimes life gets hard and you probably will never know the complete story because people only tell you in parts. Be patient with others and be patient with yourself. And you might have had a goal. You might not achieve the goal in 1 year. It might take you 5, but when you get there, it'll be worth it. So it's just being patient with yourself
So
and
wise.
others.
Where did all this wisdom come from? I love that. I couldn't agree more.
For a long time, I was trying to follow a playbook. Okay, you graduate, you get a job, you get married, you have children, but actually, you'll find that so many other things come in the way. And yeah, just being patient with yourself, really, and just saying, okay, one step at a time.
Exactly. Can't do more than that. Patience.
Yeah.
Ah, God. I feel like there are a couple of people I'm going to play this to. Patience. Be patient. Calm down. Erin, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's one more section called Rapid Fire Questions. Dun-dun-dun. I say this because there will be a bell that will be put in. So just say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
What is the last thing you do before you go to bed?
I wouldn't say pray.
You want to say pray?
Say pray,
Okay.
pray.
I might ask you that question at the end and see what you say. Are you sweet or savory?
Sweet. All the way.
Good girl. Good girl. I forgive you the fact that you're in Obasa and V. I'm a sweet girl as well. What is one song, film, or book that you could just go back to over and over again?
I like Home Alone too. All the Home Alones, actually. So I think I watch it every Christmas. So probably Home Alone, the movie.
That's when they left him at home and went to New York, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was too.
Donald Trump was in that one, you know. All right. What is your favorite quote or saying?
My favorite quote is "You only live once. Make good use of it."
Yeah. YOLO. And be really cheesy and be like, yeah, YOLO. And the Y could be your name. All right?
Right. I've never thought of that one, but it could totally be my name. Yoma only lives once.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you tell people. You can have a t-shirt. Yoma only lives once.
Yeah.
And then final, so one of my favorite questions is, what is the best compliment you have ever received?
I think the best compliment would be my smile. Actually, that was actually a weird. I was it was a weird compliment, but when I went home this December, it was a compliment I got a lot, and people will look at me and go, "Oh, you have a nice smile. Oh, you have perfect teeth." But I've had this dentition for like the most part of my adult life, so I don't know if people are just noticing it or. Yeah, it was a very strange. Even at the airport, people were, oh, yeah, I was like, okay, they don't go.
But you do have a lovely smile. No, you do. It's bright. I'm for those I know. For those who can't see because it's audio, I actually zoomed in. I actually looked in to be like, yeah, she does actually have really good teeth, very bright teeth. Wow.
Yeah, it hasn't changed. I've been like this for the best part of my life. So, yeah, I think I just found it surprising that people were commenting on that. It's like, oh, okay.
I love it. I love it. I think a smile can change so many things, so many situations, you know.
Okay.
It can also soften the blow when you have to be a bit harsh.
I think that's the story of Nigeria. You have to smile or dance. You choose one. Which one you're going to do today? Because you're definitely going to do one.
Exactly. Oh, your smile. I totally agree. And I think that's the perfect note on which to end our little conversation. Oh, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you. So many gems.
Thank you.
So many gems. I think the thing you said about be patient. Yeah, patience. 100%. It's your life. It's your road. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Be kind.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thanks a lot. And thank you for organizing the podcast.
I love it. It's honestly.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed it.
I learned so much from my conversation with Yoma. So much. And it made me realize and appreciate the fact that wisdom really does come from anyone. It doesn't matter how old we are, where we've lived, what we've done, but each and every one of us has such insights that it can enrich the other person. If only we just stopped. Look beyond age, look beyond appearance, look beyond surroundings, and just talked. I really enjoyed this episode and I got so much from it. I hope you did too. Until next time, bye.